And it is. So this road trip has helped create the Canadian Alliance to End Homelessness, and there's more information there. It's just in its infancy. It's really exciting because, as many of you know, you fight homelessness at a local level. Every community has different resources, different political structure, different challenges. So it really has to be at the community local level. But there, right as of now, until this was created, there wasn't national support for the people. There's some provincial support, but there wasn't national support for people on the grounds in the local community. So thanks to this summer just being a huge success, I mean, thousands of lives and lots of money are going to be saved because of the Canadian Alliance to End Homelessness. So thank you very much. I'm truly honored that you let me travel your country and you let me do this. And thank you much. This was an experiment today with this presentation. But I really thought that you needed to hear from them talk about Canadian homelessness more than you needed to hear me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. I went on Invisible People TV several times over the last couple months, and have to say, I think I've seen all of those videos and a couple more, but I have trouble getting through them without crying. So it's pretty heart-wrenching, and how honest people are. Sorry, I just turned off your... There we go. So now we're going to move to another part of the agenda where we're going to bring some satellite feed from other communities, from mayors that are going to be making a pledge. Because what we want to do is we want to make this, as Mark has said, traveling across Canada. He's talked about ending homelessness nationwide. And so we have, to begin with, we have video footage from Victoria Mayor Dean Fortin. So I'm just going to ask you to run that. Oops.
My name is Dean Fortin, and I'm mayor in the City of Victoria and co-chair of the Greater Victoria Coalition to End Homelessness. I had a chance to meet with Mark Horvath in July as he started in this city to move across Canada documenting homelessness stories, stories of poverty. Now it is my understanding that Mayor O'Keefe from St. John's will be signing today that pledge to end homelessness in his city. We congratulate Mark on his incredible journey, and together with Mayor O'Keefe of St. John's, we issue a challenge to other mayors throughout this country to pledge to end homelessness in their city, and a challenge for us to come together and call for a national effort to end homelessness across this country. We can do it. We should do it. I know we can do it. Let's get it done.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Mayor Fortin. And now it's my pleasure. I'd like to just acknowledge that Deputy Mayor Shani Duff is here, and I'm going to call Mayor O'Keefe to come forward and support the pledge. The proclamation is going to City Council tonight, and so Mayor O'Keefe, I just ask you to come forward.
Thank you very much. You know, many years ago, I think I was about 9 or 10 years old, and that was the first pledge I ever took. And I didn't know what alcohol was at that point in time, but anyhow, I took the pledge from the Total Abstinence and Benevolence Society because it enabled me and others of my age to get in and see a free movie on a Sunday afternoon up at the Knights of Columbus building on St. Clair Avenue. And I can't say I was successful with that pledge, but I and the city certainly intend to be successful with this particular pledge that is aimed at ending homelessness and providing more affordable housing here in the City of St. John's, and hopefully right across Canada. The city has been very active and very proactive and very much in the vanguard of affordable housing initiatives for a number of years now, and we have a number of committees set up to really, their mandate is to bring together partnerships and to produce more affordable housing and to take aim at the whole issue of ending homelessness. So we have a Mayor's Committee on Affordable Housing. We have an Affordable Housing Action Committee. We have an Affordable Housing Charter and Action Plan. And all of these are aimed at taking focus on the whole issue, not only of affordable housing, but all of the social needs that are attached to the problems that stem and lead to affordable housing, lead to the need for affordable housing and the ending of homelessness. We have this summer, this year, we have another 46 affordable housing units being constructed down in the Pleasantville area. And that will add to our supply already. We have a supply of about 426 affordable housing units that are owned and administered by the city. But more, much more, is needed. We also have, on the other side, we have a wait list of 2 or 3 years for these units. And I get calls, and calls that literally would break your heart almost every day, from people who want to be put ahead on the list, on the waiting list. And I'd love to be able to say, yes, I'm going to put you right up here. I mean, I've had a man for the last month, he's in to see me every other morning at 10 after 9, quarter after 9 in the morning. He'll be sitting down in the office area there, just waiting to see me because he has a need. He has social needs and he has housing needs. And he has housing, but it's not very suitable housing. And it doesn't enable him to realize his full potential. And it breaks my heart not to be able to say to him, I'll contact our affordable housing division and put you right up there at the head of the list. But I can't do that. But I know that's what he wants. And it gets really, really frustrating on my part to have to give him the same message just about every day, that I will call over and I'll talk to Valerie Gamberg or Helen Handrigan and see what I can do and acquaint them of his particular need, knowing that they're coming back to me with the same message also, and they are on the front line, and it's very, very frustrating for them not to be able to deal with the issues that this elderly man has brought forward. So I'm delighted to take that pledge today on behalf of myself and on behalf of Council and the City. And I'm delighted to see all of you here today, because it's only through all of us together producing the partnerships and bringing people together who recognize the challenges of affordable housing and the challenges of homelessness. It's only through bringing all of the partners together, individuals, private corporations, private public institutions, that we will end forever the whole issue of so many people in our society living in conditions that are nothing less than abominable. And we have a responsibility to do what we can, all of us, to ensure that people have adequate housing, and through providing adequate housing, as the previous speaker mentioned, through providing adequate housing and dealing with the issue of homelessness, what we will do is deal with the issue of meeting the social needs of people also. So I'm delighted to be here today on behalf of the city, delighted to see you here, delighted to take the pledge, and together we will continue to work to provide more affordable housing and to end homelessness in our city and hopefully right across the country. Thank you.
I'll see you in a little bit. I'll see you in an hour.
You will.
Thank you, Mayor O'Keefe. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Calgary Mayor Naheed Nenshi. We're going to run that footage.
Hello, I'm Naheed Nenshi, Mayor of Calgary. And first of all, I would like to congratulate Mark Horvath and all the people involved with the Invisible People Tour for completing this successful tour, raising awareness of homelessness across Canada. We know here in Calgary that there is a solution to homelessness. We know when our 10-year plan to end homelessness is working. Shelter use is down, fewer people are homeless, and we are housing more people. But it takes a commitment. It takes a commitment from the city governments, from the provincial and federal governments, and from the community to make sure that we understand that homelessness is something that we can solve, something that we can end, not just something to manage. That's why I'm so pleased to join with Mayor O'Keefe and Mayor Fortin in challenging every community across Canada to make it a commitment to end homelessness. Invisible People has been a great start, but we must keep working every day to end homelessness.
Thank you, Mayor Nenshi. And now it's my privilege to actually open up the floor, and we're going to take questions for Mark. If you have questions about who he is, what he does, about his trip, what he's seen, you can just put up your hand and get you to stand up and ask your question. Yes, go ahead.
It's not so much a question.
Awesome.
I'm a homeless youth, and I just want to say thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Leave my glasses over there.
Yes, sir.
Not
That's a
blind,
question.
leave my
That's a
glasses.
question from the floor.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, Barry.
So Mark, can you easily categorize, or is there a difference between, you touched on it a little bit, but the differences in the U.S. to Canada in how our communities are addressing it? Maybe less about the government, but do you see a different feel in the community?
You know, bureaucracy is the same. I think that's a universal roadblock. I actually, and please take this as I see you guys being a lot more proactive, a lot more, I mean, especially, you know, what the success stories that's happening in Calgary, you know, 2,900 people housed in 2 years. That's amazing, you know. What the mayor just talked about, the creation of low-income housing here. I mean, you guys see it and you're taking action. So, gosh, like I said, I asked for asylum.
Good, thank you. Dorothy, you had a question?
I was wondering, Amy, did you ever ask her if she could go home to her mom and dad or anything like that, or it was because of her anger that she got kicked out or something?
Well, you know, it's interesting. That's a universal question. A lot of people say, what about family? And I always say, how was your Thanksgiving? Was it drama-free? You know?
By the way, that's my mom.
Well, don't answer.
Good question.
No, I mean, it is. You know, in a perfect Norman Rockwell, Leave It to Beaver world, families support each other. Unfortunately, and I like to say it like this, it has a lot to do with homelessness, but it's kind of a different conversation. I cannot stop hurricanes. I cannot stop forest fires. I cannot stop earthquakes. I wish I could fix the economy. I wish I could stop drug addictions. I can't, but we can fix family. And through a strong family, you can get through depressions. You can get through wars. You can get through crises. This year, this last winter, I saw something that was, I work with homeless families. I don't know, I'm divorced, no goldfish. I don't know how I got to be the guy that works with homeless families in the wintertime. So when a homeless family shows up, we put them in a hotel. It's a temporary fix, and then we try to get them into more of a transitional housing. So we have a limited amount of time, but you know, it's hotel voucher system. A lot of communities use it. And there was an older woman with 4 daughters, and I put her into the hotel. And the next night, a 22-year-old mom and a 9-year-old girl showed up, and I put them in a same hotel, different room. And the next morning, it was a family reunion. The older mom was the mom of the 22-year-old and the grandmother of the 9-year-old. And you know, it was, I've been saying this when I speak a lot, but it was the first time I saw generational poverty and homelessness. So when we took them back to the agency, the older mom, who had been homeless for 10 years and had gone through every single, in Los Angeles County, which is huge, had gone through every single homeless services and had timed out. So like couldn't go back. So it was a very challenging situation. But while in the lobby, the older mom is telling the youngest, cutest girl the requests she wants. And she's sending them in. So basically, you know, it's like I said with youth and Amy and everything else, we really have to pay attention to you know, and youth mentorships and all this, because the older mom is training the younger one how to work the system, how to survive homelessness. And again, I mean,